Hello Twitch, Artemu here, and today we are going to continue the Pokemon LeafGreen adventure. It only took me nearly a month to pick this back up again, but hey, I've been busy. Anyway, last time we made it through Mount Moon and arrived in Cerulean City, where the next gym leader is located, and we are going to be challenging her today. Cerulean City Pokemon Gym leader, Misty, the tomboyish mermaid. I really like this character and I'm really excited to be fighting her. This is my current team at the moment. I did a lot of training after the last stream to get my team all prepared for this. We got the full team of Kanto, Bella, Pine, Margarine, and Raffian. And I have Hocus here just because. I have a use for him. We'll be seeing that later. Also, you may have noticed with my new layout that there is some artwork of the various Pokemon on my team up in the top left corner of the stream. Yep, that's all art that I drew of my Pokemon. And I don't know, I think it adds to the personality of this adventure as well as the personalities of the Pokemon themselves, so I really like it. I'm really excited to see my team expand and grow even more. Because that's the best thing about the series, just watching your team grow stronger. Anyway, I want to have Bella up front for this battle. We're dealing with water types. Water's actually my favorite type of Pokemon. They have very good offenses, and they're only weak to two types, Grass and Electric. And they just synchronize so well with other types. I think they're great. Just the sheer variety to what kind of base the water Pokemon off of. Like, here we have a Horsey, which is just really cute. It eventually evolves into a dragon type. Just really awesome. Here we have a Shelder. This little water type based off of a clam. It becomes a water ice type eventually, which is pretty awesome. That's very high defense, but Bella just sweeps it aside. Yeah, this is why I wanted to put a Bellsprout on my team. They're just really good against water types. What, you? I'm more than good enough for you. Misty won't have to be bothered. But we all know how much she hates being bothered given her portrayal in the anime. I actually really liked Misty in the anime. Quite dynamic character. Very good fighter profession with water types. She just had a lot of great interactions with Ash and Brock. I really liked her. That Goldeen just confused Bella with bit of a problem. Try to waste a turn with Water Sport. That power fire type attacks, and we're probably not going to use fire types in this gym, so why bother giving that to your Goldeen? Completely pointless. Here we go. Good work, Bella. With that, Bella reaches level 21, which is a pretty important milestone for her. Yes, I did. Because now Bella's evolving! Yay! Well, you're not winning any beauty contests in the future. You've evolved into a Weepinbell. You're much stronger than you were before, and you are going to make mincemeat out of Misty's team. Or should I say, sushi. Yeah, let's look at Bella now she's evolved. She's got stats all around. It's a shame doesn't really have anything to take advantage of that attack stat, but she's pretty good. And with some support moves, too. Yeah, I'm very happy of putting Bella on this team. So I'm actually going to put her in the back, because I don't want to lead with her in this battle. Because if you're not prepared for Misty, her team can be quite intense, to say the least. There's a reason she's considered rough if you started with Charmander. You're at a big disadvantage against those water types if you're using fire. But I got a pretty solid team that can handle her very well. Gonna lead with Kung Pao since he's very fast and has very good power. So we should do well there. Alright, Misty, let's go. Hi, you're a new face. Only those trainers who have a policy about Pokemon can turn pro. What's your approach when you catch and train Pokemon? My policy is an all-out offensive with water-type Pokemon. Fun fact, I've actually done 2 runs where I only used a water Pokemon in previous games. I actually did a water-only run in my LeafGreen cartridge that I actually own, and I did another one for Ultra Moon. That was quite a challenge. Despite the fact that game having so many different water types that I could use, and water types with different type combinations I could add to my team, leading to variety, and a lot of Pokemon I wouldn't really consider for a team getting used. Like I used a Wishcash, I used a Gliscopod. But anyway, time to face the tomboyish mermaid herself. I really like that sprite. It's got a nice dynamic pose to it. Leading off with Staryu. Insurgent streams well that this thing can be pretty strong. Lead with a Karate Chop, see if we can get the KO. So close. Water Pulse. That's Misty's signature move. It's pretty strong, it has a chance of confusing Pokemon, so it's definitely an interesting move. Very good for the early game. One more hit should do it. Staryu is out. So now we got Starmie. Okay, you got Sleep Powder, good. So I'm gonna lead with Margarine here. Because Starmie hits like a truck. Move is Water Pulse, which does a lot of damage with Starmie's massive special attack stat. It's fast and almost guaranteed to outspeed anything you've got. It's just a really great Pokemon. Like, it's been top tier for just so many years because it has great stats, a fantastic move pool, and it just looks really cool with the 10 arms to it. I think it's really great. Now that it's asleep, Bella should have no problem just taking this thing out. Oh, you managed to get one hit on me before you go down, so good for you. Ah! Come on, Bella! Well, looks like Misty got to pull off something on me. See if I can Sleep Powder this thing. I should have just gone for the attack. Or not. Come on, Bella! Yes! Oh, that is so good. Let's take you out. There we go. So yeah, that was Misty. She's pretty easy if you chose Bulbasaur as your starter, because Ivysaur gets access to the powder moves, so you can easily put it to sleep or poison it. Even set up a Leech Seed on it to sap some health. Squirtle has an okay time, all things considered. I mean, you're not really going to be doing super effective damage to her, but the water attacks are resisted by Squirtle, so you're at least pretty decent there. Charmander, though, really struggles against that water pulse. So you need to compensate by having some pretty alright team members to back them up. Cascade Badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30 obey. It only applies to Pokemon that you receive through trades with other players. And we can now use Cut anytime, even out of battle. You can cut down small trees to open new pathways. We'll definitely want to keep that in mind for later. And now we get TM3. Teaches Water Pulse. We can teach it to aquatic Pokemon, but there are a few non-water types that can also learn this move. Definitely a good coverage move if you can get it on a good Pokemon. That battle went really well. Even though Bella got confused by that Starmie, we just really pulled through there. I'm really proud of her. And I'm gonna have to draw some new art for her after this stream, so that should be fun. Actually, we're pretty close to having another new evolution, so... I want to check the PC right now. Pretty much nothing has changed since the last time when we did anything. We still got all the Pokemon we caught before during our trip to Cerulean. And we've caught pretty much everything we can catch in these areas, so we can press onward. Now you're probably wondering where exactly we can go now that we've beaten Misty. A pretty important area to the south of town that we can now go to, but before we can do that, we have to go over here. This house that opens up after you help Bill out. The people here were robbed. It's obvious that Team Rocket's behind this most heinous crime. Even our police force has trouble with the Rockets. Oh boy. I really like how this house is laid out with all the broken furniture, the footprints, just everything on the floor. Pretty nice they went the extra mile with this sprite work. Team Rocket must be trying to dig their way to no good. Those miserable Rockets! Look what they've done to my house! They stole the TM for teaching Pokemon how to dig holes. I was gonna use it on a Mankey or a Sandshrew. That cost me a bundle, it did. A bundle, huh? Pretty interesting. Hmm? Oh, hey Dee Dee, I just noticed you in chat. No, this is not a Nuzlocke, I'm just playing through LeafGreen because I like this game. So here's the culprit just standing in the backyard of the house he just robbed. Yeah, good work, buddy. Hey, stay out. It's not your yard. Not me. I'm an innocent bystander. Don't you believe me? You're a credit to your organization, bub. This guy's got a Machop. Hits pretty hard, but we should be good against this. Nice work, Kung Pao. And next up is Drowsy. Let's see. I'm gonna let Raffian handle this one. Here we have Drowsy. Psychic type Pokemon. And one that's not exactly popular among the community, but I think it's cool. In fact, as a kid, I had a Drowsy toy, and whenever I would play with my little Pokemon figurines, the Drowsy would be the bad guy. He's plotting schemes to defeat the heroes and stuff, so... I'm pretty attached to it. I think it's cool. Okay, I'll return the TM I stole. And we get TM 28. I better get moving. Bye! That guy's gone. But you know, I would feel bad if we just take this item that was stolen from these people. I'm gonna give it back. I figure what's lost is lost. I decided to teach Diglett how to dig without a TM. Oh. So I can keep this, huh? Well, okay then. I needed a ground attack from my Sandshrew, so might as well. Yeah, I'm gonna teach this to Pine right away. The thing about Sandshrew is that it doesn't really learn a lot of ground attacks by level up. In fact, it doesn't learn a lot of good attacks by level up. But I think that's pretty alright. Sandshrew in general just has very good stats. There we go. Now you're much better. Move that to the top. I feel like we're going to be getting some good use out of Pine in the future. We can't go past here because of that tree, so the only way we can go is down. And now we're on Route 5. Another Bellsprout. Yikes. Let me just switch to Margarine. Margarine is built pretty well to handle these grass poison types. She resists their attacks, can do good damage with confusion, just bam. You'll probably want to stop off at this house, because this guy runs a daycare. You can leave a Pokemon with him, and then for every step you take, it gains experience points. So there's a Pokemon that you don't really feel like using in battle because it's very low level. Just leave it with this guy. Just continue about your business, beat a few gyms and whatnot, and come back and get it much stronger. Pretty neat. I'm not going to use it. I should probably also heal my Mankey. Yeah. Yeah, Super Potion you. Anyway, if we go through here, we can get to Saffron City. I'm on guard duty. Gee, I'm thirsty though. Oh, wait there, the road's closed. Yeah, we can't actually go to Saffron City yet, because the guard is thirsty. Try to figure out how that works. Hi, do you have a Nidoran? Want to trade for my Nidoran? No, I can't trade with you. Besides, we have much later opportunities to get the Nidoran, so nothing to worry about. People often lose things in the darkness of the underground path. I'll keep that in mind for later. But as you can see here, we managed to clear the entirety of Saffron City by taking that tunnel, which is pretty helpful. Citrus Berry, that's very good. Keep that for later. I think around here, rare candy, nice. So good. More grass here, and some more trainers. This guy's a bug catcher, so I should probably lead with Margarine. bugs out here. Yeah, we ran into a lot of bugs early in the game. But from this point on, we're not exactly going to be encountering a lot of bug types. As more areas open up, we start encountering different species of Pokemon. That's how you progress in the world. Getting new experiences. I like to imagine that when Margarine was a little Caterpie, that she got bullied a lot by other bug Pokemon, especially Weedles. And now that she's a Butterfree and she can, like, instantly kill these Weedles with confusion, she's, like, going a bit mad with power, the fact that she's so much stronger now. I don't know. Just trying to give some personality to the team. There, quit listening in on us. Perfect. Got a Squirtle. Lucky you. I really like Squirtle. Just so cute, it's on a fantastic evolution. I just can't win! Shame, buddy. Shame.
Excuse me, this is a private conversation.
Since when has eavesdropping ever been a crime? Ooh, Rattata. Kill it like the rest. Good work, Kung Pao. Another level up. Good. Focus Energy. That could be pretty good. This Focus Energy buffs the critical hit rate. Yeah, we'll give you Focus Energy. Could be useful later. We've also got a Pikachu, which is great. Perfect time to off Pine's new move. We could have gotten a Pikachu sooner in Viridian Forest, but I never encountered one when I was in there, so sadly, couldn't catch it. But there is a chance we can find one later on, so not too worried about that. Oh, but that I am worried about. Pikachu is static, which can paralyze you. Yeah. Whisper, whisper. You're not even talking, you're just saying whisper, whisper, whisper. Right here. Now let's cure that paralysis. Considering what our next opponent is going to be, I'll definitely want to stock up on more of those. But this kid is kind of interesting. Never seen you around. Are you good? Well, I don't mean to brag, but... Bugcatcher Elijah. A Butterfree. It's pretty high level, too. See? Getting to fight a Pokemon that I've been using on my team for so long. And one is fantastic, too, so... This is interesting, getting to fight a Pokemon I've been commonly using, but haven't really... had to face in battle. But this Butterfree is kind of annoying. It has a powder move, and it has Super Sonic. There's no way it can directly damage you. But it can be pretty annoying just stalling you out, making you hit yourself. Using Pine here because her Rock Tomb does massive damage to Butterfree. Ah, Pine, you're so good. Can't wait for you to evolve. Very soon. So good. You're too good! Why, thank you. Are my Pokemon weak? Or am I just bad? Which do you think? No, you're using a good Pokemon. You just need to catch more in order to cover your weaknesses. Like, try getting a ground type or a water type. I think that would help.
Me? Well, okay, I'll play.
There is one more Pokemon we can encounter in the grass here that I want to go for. Isabelle. And once I'm done fighting these two, I'm gonna see if I can try and get it. Probably not gonna add to my team, but it is interesting. Don't want to deal with that accuracy drop, so let's just switch to Margarine and Confusion it. Very nice. That's good. Now Rathian again. Ow, all these quick attacks. There we go. Yeah, things really didn't work out for you. I want to use a potion on Rathian, because I remember this next guy being kinda tough. Gulp. Hello. Huh? You want to talk to me? No one else here, so he must be trying to talk to you. Hero, not too bad. Yeah, got the burn. Like your attack being cut in half, bub. Finish you off with a metal claws. Haha, so good. Next up is Raticate. This thing can be pretty tough. It's got some very good stats this early on. And it's level 16 because of course it is. Rattata normally doesn't evolve until level 20. I don't know how this kid god is. This stinks. I couldn't beat your challenge. So that went pretty well. Alright, let's put Margarine up front because she's on catching duty. Let's see if we can get this Pokemon. Not you. Although I always appreciate the extra experience points. And here it is, Meowth. One of my personal favorites. It's a normal type, very fast, has some decent power, but there's quite a few things that set it apart from most Pokemon. but one that's got a pretty diverse move pool, being able to learn quite a few different attack types, like electric, ghost, dark, things like that. But it also has an exclusive move called Payday, which when used gives you bonus money when you clear the battle. If you use it multiple times in a battle, the amount of money you get is boosted. Also, Meowth can have an ability called Pickup, which allows it to find items. But all in all, Meowth is pretty good. It adores round objects, wanders the streets on a nightly basis to look for dropped loose change. Also, the Meowth in the anime is amazing. I really like his personality. That takes care of that. Now it's time to head into Vermilion City. There's quite a bit we can do here. First thing we want to do is talk to this woman. The urge to battle with someone you've tangled with before. Have you ever had that urge? I'm sure you have. I wanted to battle certain people again over and over too, so I've been giving these away. Please take one. This is the Versus Seeker. It is a awesome item that allows us to re-challenge trainers that we previously fought. This is something that you couldn't do in the original Red and Blue. They kind of did this with the Pokas, with the Poké gear in Gold and Silver, and with the Pokénav in Ruby and Sapphire. But those were rather limited, and you could only fight a few trainers in the entire game over and over. But in this game, the Versus Seeker allows us to battle any trainer. And sometimes they even have stronger teams than last time, so it's pretty worth your time to use this as a way of getting levels, getting money. It's very great. I love this item. Oh yeah, I hear you, man. Now before I leave, there is one thing I want to do. I'm gonna put Spearow on the team, but only for a little bit. You'll see why. Now then, let's check out here. I'm the fishing guru. I simply love fishing. I can't bear to go without. Tell me, you like to fish? I mean, I did some fishing when I was a kid. Grand, I like your style. I think we can be friends. And with this we get the Old Rod, which allows us to catch Pokémon in any body of water we see. Although the Old Rod is pretty crappy. There's really only one Pokémon that we can catch with this thing. I just need to remember what key is the... Oh, there it is. It's backward. Okay. I mean backspace. Pokemon's on the hook. The only thing we can catch with the Old Rod is Magikarp. Derp to end all derps. Its only attack is Splash. There is nothing this thing can pose a threat to us. And it's pretty lousy if you try to use it on your team, but if you manage to get up to level 20, it will evolve into a really awesome Pokemon that is still beloved in the community to this day. poison this thing because if I try to attack it directly, it's most definitely gonna get knocked out. There we go, we caught ourselves a Magikarp. I'm not gonna add this to my team. I have another water type that I plan on using, but we're not gonna see it for quite a while. Anyway, now that that's taken care of, I'm putting up a building on this plot of land. I own it all. My Pokemon is tamping the land to lay the foundation. Good for you. In 3 years, you're still not going to finish that house, but whatever.
Hi, you have a Spearow? Want to trade it for my Farfetch'd?
Yes, I do! Because this is the only way you can obtain this Pokemon. By trading a Spearow to her. I'm going to go over exactly what Farfetch is in a bit, because it's kind of interesting, and I have a few things to say about it. When I like that trading screen, it's pretty cool. We got Chading. Pretty nonsensical name.
Thank you.
So, any Pokemon you receive in a trade will be the same level as the Pokemon that you traded for it. You got an Adamant Nature, which is pretty good, and you have a Stick, which is a good item that only Farfetch can use. The problem, however, is that Farfetch is very, very weak. Like, the Pokemon that Spearow evolves into is infinitely more useful than Farfetch. I think Farfetch is cool. It's got a pretty neat design. I like its appearance and how it uses that weak stock as a weapon. I think that's pretty creative. And I would love to see an evolution for this thing in a later generation, but it's just very bad. It doesn't get good moves until later gens. It's just all around pretty underwhelming. Which is a shame, because I like its personality and design. Anyone here is the Pokemon fan club.
I just adore my seal. It's so lovable. It squeals "Pew" when I hug it. Pew! Pikachu!
My Pikachu's twice as cute as that one.
Our chairman's very vocal about Pokemon.
Oh really? This can't be bad. I chair the Pokemon fan club. I raise more than 100 Pokemon. I'm very fussy when it comes to Pokemon. I surely am. So, you come visit to hear about my Pokemon? Sure. Good. Then listen up. My favorite Rapidash. It's cute, lovely, smart, plus amazing. You think so? Oh, yes, it's stunning. Kindly love it, hug it when sleeping, warm and cuddly, spectacular, ravishing. Oh, look at the time. I kept you too long. Thanks for hearing me out. Want you to have this. We get the bike voucher. Listening to Dan talk passionately about his fire unicorn. And we can exchange that at the bike shop in Cerulean to get a bicycle. We will need to go back up to Cerulean City later to progress in the game, so I'm gonna wait until then to exchange this for the bike. You can see the gym, but the way is blocked by this damn tree, and we can't walk around it. That would make sense. Yeah. Maybe we can buy some new stuff at the mart, because they usually have new items when you go to a new town. Buy a few more Pokeballs. Still quite a few Pokemon we can catch. Don't have regular potions anymore, but we got super potions. I'll save my money a bit. Okay.
And what is in here? I want to exchange mail with all sorts of people. I sent my Pidgey to a union room to exchange mail for me. Woohoo! I'm getting my Pidgey to fly a letter to Saffron in the north. Oh man, looks like I disconnected for a second. Oh man, I hate it when that happens. Okay, back online. No biggie. No, I didn't see what this guy's setting up next. Okay, it's another Growlithe, good. Oh, that was such a pain. I hate it when that happens. Like, kills the mood for the streamer whenever they get disconnected from their server. Really infuriating. Whatever, let's just continue these battles. I especially want to get Pine trained up, because she is going to be my main fighter for this next gym battle. So I definitely want her to be in shape. Now if we go into this room, I think... You look tired. Would you like to take a short rest? Yes, please! So it's nice we have our own personal Pokemon Center in this place that we can heal up. In the original Red and Blue, they did not have that healing room. So if you wanted to heal, you had to go all the way back to the Pokemon Center in Vermilion. Anyway, you examine that trash can, you get a Hyper Potion. My buddy Macho's super strong. He has enough strength to move big rocks. And we get a Super Potion. Cool, cool, cool. How much Choke Sprite's so derpy and so squished. Come on then, my sailor's pride's at stake. So I gotta sell some sailors. Come to think of it, I think this is the only time we fight sailors. Until I think the post-game. Nah, whatever. Sailors typically use water Pokemon. Sometimes you'll see them using fighting Pokemon like the Machop line. So they got that going for them. Pretty interesting. And of course this will be a good place to train Bella, since there's going to be so many water types here. Tentacool. Let's use Pine for this one. Tentacool is a water type, but it's also part poison. And personally, I really like Tentacool. It's very bulky, got some good power. It's pretty good. The Pine should easily be able to handle a Tentacool. Like that. Perfect. Your spirit sank me! Good then? Leonard. Alright. Kung Pao should easily be able to handle this Shelter. And while we're just kind of going for this dungeon and fighting all these trainers, I think I'd take the time just to talk about my past experiences with this series, since this is my favorite franchise of all time. And so obviously I've got quite a few stories to share. So, I was pretty much exposed to this series, like most people back in the late 90s did, where I saw a bunch of commercials on TV for this series for Pokemon, and I was just like, what am I even looking at?
because you got all these colorful creatures and monsters just looking all cute and stuff. So it's pretty captivating for my young eyes. I like feisty kids like you. Somebody should call Chris Hansen. Anyway, so yeah, I was exposed to the series through commercials on TV. I think we can all remember that one with the bus driver luring a bunch of Pokemon onto his bus, then compacting the bus into a Game Boy so he could catch them. Like, that was pretty morbid, but also kind of cool. But yeah, despite seeing all these commercials for it, I didn't really watch the show or play any of the games until much later. So I knew that Pokemon was a thing, and just didn't really get into it. But one day I was at a birthday party, and they were playing some episodes of Pokemon on TV. Like, I remember it distinctly. It was the episode where Ash and his Primeape were taking part in a fighting-type tournament. They had to go up against a Hitmonlee that Team Rocket had stolen from this other trainer. And then the episode after that was the one where they were going through this power plant, and a Magnemite fell in love with Pikachu. Rather silly, but I just really love the visuals and how different characters and the Pokemon were portrayed. So I got enraptured by the show and started thinking like, wow, this is amazing. And then, of course, we started getting a few of the Pokemon trading cards, because those were big. Like, if you owned Pokemon cards as a kid, everyone wanted to see them. They got instantly popular, until the teachers took them away, of course. He is giving us a lot of trouble with that smoke screen. Getting into Pokemon through the TV show and the trading card game, I didn't actually play a Pokemon game for myself until I was, I want to say either 6 or 7. Yeah, we just happened to stop by a store one day, and we saw that a copy of Pokemon Red was on sale. And of course, me and my brothers, who are pretty into the series because of the anime and the cards, wanted it, so our mom bought it for us. And we just had a grand old time. My brothers and I would take turns playing the game. And like, our team was weird at first. We picked Squirtle, of course. Partially why that I really favor Squirtle to this day. But we didn't really use any other Pokemon until we got to Mount Moon, where we caught 2 Zubats for some reason. Yeah, we weren't really experts at playing the game as kids. But the more I played, the more I got to understand, like, the strengths and the weaknesses of the Pokemon, got more into the story and the characters. And even though my brothers drifted away from the series, I still hung on to it, even to this day. I think it's a fantastic franchise. Full of creativity, joy, and whimsy. I feel like the games have really gotten good with the presentation, the story as of late. I mean, just thinking about those early memories of playing games on my Game Boy Color, with those really rough-looking sprites, just seeing how the series has evolved in recent years with the 3DS generation of games, it's just wonderful that the series has grown so much and is still popular. And I will always treasure my experiences with this series. It definitely helped shape me as a person. It is a kind of silly thing to think about. Playing these games games are what made you who you are today, but if I really think about it, I don't even know if I'd still be alive without these games. Whenever I had like a rough time at school, or I got in trouble, I would always have these games to go back to and just lose myself in this bright, colorful world. And like, even at some of my very low points, like during high school, where I was struggling with my schoolwork and getting bullied, I still had these games by my side to cheer me up. I'm very thankful for this series, for helping shape me and being there to comfort me. Sorry if this got, like, thick. But, I don't know, it feels good to talk about this kind of stuff. Hello, stranger! I can't tell if you're from the seas or mountains, but stop and chat! I'm from Pallet Town. If you think about it, it's actually pretty close to the sea. It's like on the tip of this peninsula on the west side of Kanto. We've probably seen our share of, like, tentacles and tentacles. Getting a Pokemon ourselves. Interesting to think about what the lives of these people were before they got into Pokemon. Because from what I've seen of the series and its world, it seems like most people pursue an education until they're at least 10 years old. At which point you have the option of going on an adventure with Pokemon. Of course, we got some people who don't take that opportunity and who go on to further their education and become, like, office workers and whatnot. It's kind of interesting thinking about how this world is structured, how its society works, how its economy functions, how Pokemon affect their day-to-day lives. It's very interesting stuff to think about. Let's face it, Pokemon is pretty much the center of everything in this world. It comes to the economy, politics in a sense. The highest forms of what we know to be government in the series are all Pokemon trainers. It's just very interesting to think about. Of course, it's also a pretty dangerous world. Like, if you read the Pokédex entries for many Pokemon, it's very clear that these creatures that we oftentimes take for granted can easily kill a person. And there's a lot of gruesome Pokédex entries. But now's not the time to talk about that, because Pine is finally evolving into a big, spiky Sandslash. This is one of my favorite Pokemon from the first generation. It looks really awesome. And let's take a look at those stats. Oh, that is so good. Look at that attack. Look at that defense. She's slow, but that doesn't matter, because that nature just really, really impresses me. Pine. You are good, but now you've just exceeding my expectations. Just look at you. And now I need to draw some art of her as a Sandslash, which should be fun. I really like Sandslash, and I've definitely drawn it quite a bit. I think it's pretty fun to draw. Speaking of which, I've always been an artist ever since, as far back as I can remember, when I used to draw little characters. on like notebook paper and stuff, and Pokemon was definitely among the artistic inspirations I've had. Used to draw my favorite Pokemon like Magnemite, Pikachu, and stuff. And of course, I'd make up my own Pokemon and draw them. Like, I still do that to this day because it's fun to think about how Pokemon that could potentially exist, what concepts have not been realized, what typings, things you can experiment with. I think it's very interesting to see people be so creative with this series. Growing up with this series has definitely helped improve my artistic skills. I mean, while I used to draw a lot as when I was a kid, I was definitely not the best drawer. Like, I understood, like, basic shapes and, like, the very basic structures of anatomy, but yeah, I wasn't really that fantastic at it. Like, it was a step up from stick figures, but still not the most dynamic of art. It was only around when I got into high school and started drawing my first real major comics. Like when I drew my Blue Nuzlocke comic and started posting that on the Nuzlocke forums, getting feedback from people, continuing to expand on my artistic skills, trying to better myself that way. And it's all because of Pokemon. It's helped shape me as an artist and how I gain inspiration for my work. So that's something else I'm thankful for Pokemon for. Being there as a constant source of inspiration. Like, thanks to this series, I've gotten much better with anatomy, I've gotten better at drawing more dynamic poses, special effects and stuff, helped me work on my shading and my lighting. I mean, I'm still trying to develop my style, and trying to better my art, but I'm making good progress. Waiter, I'd like a cherry pie, please. Do I look like a waiter to you? Bonjour, I am le waiter on the ship. I will be happy to serve you anything you please. Ah, le strong silent type. Ew. A world cruise is so elegant yet cozy. I can kind of like how you can hear a bit of a horn in the background with this music. It like really helps the authentic feel of being on a boat. I really like it. Hello. I collected these Pokemon from all around the world. Fantastic. You say these Pokemon are from all around the world, but they're still the same crap I've seen in the grass outside my house. You don't have any Hoenn Pokemon, you don't have any Unova Pokemon, or Kalos Pokemon. What's wrong with you? I mean, this game has a pretty limited Pokedex, let's be honest. It's attempting to emulate the feel of the original Red and Blue, so you pretty much only see Pokemon from those games. Until you get into the post-game. Then you start encountering some more Pokemon from Johto. Not really any from Hoenn, sadly. You unfortunately have to trade in order to get the ones from Hoenn. I'm getting thirsty. I should have gotten some juice before this. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break so I can get hydrated. Once this battle's done. Thank you, kid. Sorry, kid, I got stuff to do. That's sweet. TM31, Brick Break. That is a very good fighting move. I'm not sure if I want to teach that to anybody yet. I mean, we have a chance of buying these items later on, so I'm not too worried about that. That's a pretty good thing about this area, though, is that anything that you can find here, you can buy somewhere else, so it's not really too much of a loss if you miss it. Of course, I go for everything, because I have that completionist mentality, and I feel bad about missing stuff that I have a limited opportunity to get. Alright, before we head in there, I'm going to just take a short break, get some juice in me. Alright, so I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Grab some orange juice, and I'm feeling much better now. Let's go onward. So we're in the kitchen of the SSN now. You, mon petit, we're busy here. Out of the way. And of course, every chef in the world is French. And I just gotta love this series with its subtle stereotyping. I saw an non-berry in the trash. Wonder what that was. Ahem. Indeed, I am the chef. The main course is eels or barbecue. The guests will mutiny, I fear. Pretty funny. I'm so busy I'm getting dizzy. You have to give me room here. I only get a pale onions! Ooh, Chesterberry. Did you hear about Snorlax? It's a glutton. No other Pokemon eats and sleeps the way Snorlax can and does. Ooh, a Cherry Berry. Yeah, Snorlax, gotta keep that in mind for later. Hum-de-hum-de-ho, I peel spuds every day. Hum-hum. And Pecha Berry. Nice. Alright, just making sure my setup is alright. Alright, so now we're done with that. Let's head up here. This ship shares a luxury liner for trainers of the world. At every port, we hold parties with invited trainers. It sounds a lot like fun. I like the episode that took place on the SSN. It was pretty neat. We had that dramatic moment of Ash trading his Butterfree, but then immediately regretting it. So I thought that was nice, and the and the fact that the whole thing was a plot by Team Rocket to steal the Pokemon from everyone on the ship. You had this really big battle scene going on, and it starts to sink because Ash is trying to get his Butterfree back. It was a very intense episode. And the two episodes that followed up on that episode were just so good. Alright, let's let Margarine handle this next one. Yeah, I have a lot of memories with watching the show. I mean, I would catch the episodes when I could as a kid, but... I mean, there were a lot of episodes that I did end up missing. I mean, now that I'm an adult, I can easily find those old episodes on, like, Netflix or YouTube and go through them, which I actually did while I was in college. Just decided to watch all of the original Pokémon episodes on Netflix. Had a pretty great time revisiting the series and a lot of the strange episodes. Like the one where Brock falls in love with a woman who turns out to be a Ghastly, who takes advantage of people. Just a lot of fun stuff. Hey, matey, let's do a little jig! I mean, I would, but I'm in a chair right now. Edmund. Alright, Kung Pao can handle your kind. Let's see. Yeah, Bella can handle this one. We're actually almost done with the SS Sand, which will be very handy. Because once we're done with this, we have a sort of mini dungeon to go through, and then we're gonna get our next team member. Yeah, soon we're gonna have a full party of 6. As to what that team member will be, it's a secret. I just like the sprite work on the ship. Looks so cool. Come on, buddy. Only a couple of trainers left to battle. I've journeyed far and wide, but all my travels, I've never seen any Pokemon sleep like this one. It was something like this. That looks like a giant body pillow that grew hands and feet. So yeah, that's a Pokemon we are going to be encountering eventually, and it's one of my personal favorites from this gen. It's very strong. Learns a lot of good attacks. It's just fantastic. Fisherman Dale. Is this Dale from King of the Hill? Yeah, just more water types to fight, of course. You know, I might actually teach Brick Break to Kung Pao, because we have a chance to get the TM for Brick Break much later on, and a lot of Pokemon can learn it. It's a very good coverage move. So I'll see about doing that. We don't really need it right now, but I'll consider it. Take that, Dale. Competing against the youth keeps me youthful. Uh-huh. I'm worried this guy might have some life-draining abilities. Let's try to finish this battle quickly. Kung Pao, karate chop that rat! So what do you guys think looks better? The original design for Pikachu where it's more chubby, or the current design where it's a lot more slim and streamlined? Personally, I like both designs. They're both cute in their own ways. Stardust, we can sell that for later. Don't worry, Kung Pao, we'll get that cured off you. I don't want to waste an item, so let's actually go back and heal. Hello. Good. Now, if there are no more interruptions, we can press onward and finish up this dungeon. Oh yes, I've seen some Pokemon ferry people across the water. Small trees can be chopped down using the move Cut. But remember this, Cut's an HM technique. Once learned, it's not so easily discarded. Yeah, as I learned, oh so unfortunately. Hello. Which do you find more worthy? A rather rare Pokemon. Whatever Pokemon I like. I've used Pachirisu, who was brought into the Pokemon League a few times. It's not exactly the definition of strong, or rare. Let's go with Pine here. Just look at that sprite. So good with the quills poking up. And a bit of a battle stance. I like it. Ponyta. Yeah, you can stay in this one. Pine. As if there weren't some great Pokemon designs before. Just look at this guy. Ponyta is just so cute and so awesome at the same time with all that fire streaking out from its body. It's a really great design. And I'm not just saying that because I have a personal preference for equines. I must salute you. I believe I saw you at the party. Yeah, unfortunately I was late to the party. Couldn't get any of the odd. God. You're my favorite character from the Diamond and Pearl anime. That's still got a wicked fight. We can still handle them. Work, Bella. The Pikachu. Pine has no trouble against these things. Nah, jeez. Alright. So, on my way back to getting my Pokemon healed, what is your guys' favorite generation of Pokemon? Like, personally, I really love Gen 5. I think it has a solid roster of Pokemon. The region is interesting. I love the characters. I love the story. I just think it's a very solid generation. And the battle interface is just not only easy to understand, but it flows really quickly. Like, battles are just so fast and so smooth. And the Pokemon's animations just give them a lot of personality. I think it's fantastic. I've been on there already. 2 more rooms to go. Me and my daddy think the Safari Zone's awesome. I wish we could go there again. Have you gone to the Safari Zone in Fuchsia City? There are many kinds of rare Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'll definitely see about that later. The captain said he's awfully sick. He was all pale. I hear many people get seasick. Yeah, it's a pretty serious condition. I've never been seasick myself, which, thank God for. Then again, I haven't really been on boats. So who knows how I would feel about that. I mean, I love the sea. I really love swimming. I love the environment. I love the different creatures you can see underwater. Great. Now, before this, I think I'm going to lead with Pine. Because we got a certain battle coming up. So yeah, basically this is what we were going for this dungeon and battling all these trainers for. Is to prepare ourselves for this battle. Bonjour, hey! Imagine seeing you here. Hey, were you really invited? So, how's your Pokedex coming? I already caught 40 kinds, pal. Different kinds are everywhere. Crawl around in grassy areas and look hard for them. I don't crawl. Look at that douchey pose. God, this guy really want to beat his face in. Anyway, we got a rematch against Gary. Still packing Pidgeotto. But with Pine packing Rock Tomb, I think we'll have a decent chance against this guy. Okay, well, good. So good. Next up is Wartortle. Ooh, going for your strongest Pokemon already. I've got Bella, so I now have a hard counter to his starter Pokemon. So Wartortle is the evolution of Squirtle. You would also have a Charmeleon or an Ivysaur, depending on what starter you picked. For me, obviously, he has Wartortle. Put you to sleep so you don't cause much trouble. That's good. And now let's whip ya! This Wartortle's gonna end up having some strange interests once it wakes up. Good work, Bella. So next we got Kadabra. It's the evolution of the Abra we caught oh so long ago, and it's a... well, it's a strong Pokemon. It's very fast. It looks awesome. Just... goddamn, I love that spray. Looks like he's ready to start some shit. And with Confusion, it can do some pretty heavy damage. Oh, nice getting the burn, Raffian. You're so good. Oh, we gotta see that in action. Like, Kadabra has an ability that causes it to give its opponent the same status condition that it was inflicted with. But we also gotta see a bit of the type immunities that have to do with status ailments. Fire Pokemon cannot be burned. Likewise, poison Pokemon cannot be poisoned. Pokemon cannot be frozen. pretty interesting. It definitely adds a lot of depth to the combat system. Ooh, you had to confuse me. Come on, Raffian, break through. There we go. Cut it to ribbons. Ah, good work. And now he's got Eradicate. Looks like he evolved his Rattata. And it's not level 20 either. Eh. But with that, we've beaten our rival. At least you're raising your Pokémon. I heard there was a Cut Master on board, but he was just a seasick old man. Cut itself's really useful. Yep, it'll be handy. You should go see him too. Smell ya. So that went pretty well. Yeah, I've got a pretty solid team right now, so we had a good time against Gary. Alright, but let's go see this Cut Master. Oh, I feel hideous. Ooh, seasick. Haiti rubbed the captain's back. Rub, 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 rub. Ooh, thank you. I'm feeling much better now. You want to see my hidden cut technique? I could show you my prize cut technique if I weren't so ill. I know, you can have this hidden machine. Teach cut to your Pokemon and you can see it cut anytime. Using cut, you can chop down small trees. Why not try it with the trees around Vermilion City? Whew, now I'm not sick anymore, I guess it's time. The SSN will set sail soon. Farewell, until our return to Vermilion City. Yuck! Shouldn't have looked! The fact that they added that little old text box there, it's so good. But yeah, that is the point of no return, basically. Once you receive cut from the captain, once you exit out these doors, you can never come back to the SSN. Of course, I have no business here anymore since I've done everything. Goodbye. So we're not going to be doing anything with that for quite a while. We can't return to the Vermilion Pier. I guess the sand is gone, so we can't board it again. But it's interesting that they'd have this temporary dungeon here. Again, it adds to the world building they've got going here. I mean, who doesn't want to be on a party cruise where you can have Pokemon battles with total strangers? I mean, that just sounds like a lot of fun. But anyway, now that we got that done, and we now have cuts, there's some stuff that I want to explore before we go to the gym. For one, I want to bring Hocus back onto the team. Chiding, you can stay in the box with everyone else. I'm sure you'll make a ton of friends. And I want to put Margarine in front here. Good. As we go over this way, we reach Route 11. But if we go through here, Diglett's Cave. Well, isn't this a surprise? Diglett dug this long tunnel. Goes right to Vermilion City, they tell me. Fascinating. So, in this tunnel, we can encounter Diglett. Technically, it's the only Pokemon we can encounter in this area. And it's quite an interesting Pokemon. It's very fast and very strong, but has very low HP and defenses. Although, if you don't have a ground type yet for the next gym, it can be very handy. I don't need it on my team because I already have Pine. But I'm gonna catch it anyway because this is the only place where we can get Diglett. Get you in there? Perfect. Diglett, the mole Pokemon, lives about 1 yard underground where it feeds on plant roots. It sometimes appears above ground. I'm not going to give you a nickname. I have no intention of using you. Now, there is one other thing we could potentially encounter here, but it is very rare. I want to keep Margarine up front here because she's immune to Diglett's strongest attacks. The Diglett here are pretty decently leveled too, so you can come here for training if you want. The only problem is, Diglett has an ability called Arena Trap that prevents you from switching out. You cannot switch your Pokemon with another one that's in your party. You cannot run away from the battle. So, Diglett can be kind of annoying to fight in that instance. But only if they have that ability. They can have another one called Sandvale, which is not as bad. Ooh, this is a really strong one. 22. Jeez. It's a good thing I have Margarine up front, because those magnitudes would do a lot of damage. There's a ground attack that does variable damage. It can go as low as magnitude 4, which is very weak, up to magnitude 10, which is very strong. So you definitely want to be careful around Diglett that have magnitude. The Geodude family also gets that. Whirlwind, you do not need that. We'll just forget about that. Nice how we got that confusion. Sorry if the commentary is a little light here, but there's nothing really remarkable about Diglett's tunnel. It's very long, and there's not a whole lot we can see here besides Diglett. I mean, I could use some repels right now, but I also want the experience. Ah, jeez. Stop that, you. How much longer? This dungeon's too long. Well, I'd hardly call it a dungeon, since it's only one room. One very long room. But hey, at least we're getting experience. And also, Diglett also gives some pretty decent speed EVs. Okay, this is what we can also encounter here. Doug Trio. And these things are strong. Look at that level. Doug Trio is a beast. It's guaranteed to outspeed pretty much anything you have at this point. It has very high attack power. And unlike Diglett, it has a better chances of taking a hit. I'm going to catch this to fill out the Pokédex, but I'm not actually going to use it on my team. I mean, Doug Trio's pretty good. Used it quite a few times. It is a very good Pokemon. Alright, that should do it. Let's use this Great Ball. Has much higher chances of catching Pokemon than a normal Pokeball. Did we get this? There we go! We caught her! If you can manage to catch a Doug Trio, then you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to beat the next gym. It is a very strong Pokemon. But again, I do not intend to use it. I went inside Rock Tunnel, but it's pitch black and scary in there. If I could get a Pokemon to use Flash and light it up. And by leaving that tunnel, we find ourselves back on Route 2. Specifically, we're on the side of Route 2 that leads into Pewter City. That's pretty nice. We got a shortcut back to this side of the region. More importantly, if we go in here, we can talk to this kid here. I'm looking for the Pokemon Abra. Want to trade one for my Mr. Mime? This is the reason why I brought Hocus along. Because much like the Farfetch'd that we got earlier, this is the only way that you can get Mr. Mime in this game. And I want to add Mr. Mime to my team. Not as powerful as, say, Alakazam, still decently strong and has some good bulk and speed to it. So I think little Mimian will fit in nicely with the team. Hey, thanks! So yeah, this is Mimian. Has a timid nature, which is good. Oh, always starts out with some good moves. He got Confusion for some decent stab, Barrier to increase its defense by 2 stages, and Substitute, which can block damage, but as a trade-off, you lose a quarter of your HP to create a substitute. But still, this is a pretty decent Pokemon overall. Got some great special attacks, special defense, and speed. He is immune to sound-based attacks like Supersonic. I think he'll fit nicely with his team. Oh, I guess I should actually use that Cut HM. So HMs are unique in that they can be used at any time. You can use HMs as many times as you want, but they are very hard to remove. There's an NPC we'll encounter later in the game who can remove them, but they're pretty much stuck on your Pokemon for quite a while. Who do I actually want to give this to? Rappy, and I plan to have another HM on her later. Bella could use it. I might give it to Pine since she doesn't really need Scratch anymore. Yeah, Cut has 50 power, 95 accuracy, no special effects. It's just generally better than Scratch. And now that we have Cut, we can take those little trees down. Hello. Interesting. Hi, remember me? I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. If your Pokédex is complete data on 10 species, I'm supposed to give you a reward. Professor Oak entrusted me with HM5 for you. So hey, let me ask you, have you gathered data on at least 10 kinds of Pokémon? Great, you've caught our own 26 kinds of Pokémon. Congratulations, here you go. Get HM5 for that. Flash is an HM that can lower the accuracy of your opponents, and it can also light up dark areas. We'll get some use out of that very soon. I feel like there's an item around here that you can't see. No dice. Alright, let's see if we can head to Vermilion City now, because I think there's something we can get now that we have Cut. Yes, we can cut down this tree and talk to this guy. Ugh, must have dozed off in the sun. I had this weird dream about a drowsy eating my dream, and I learned how to eat dreams. Ugh, this is too spooky. Let me teach it to a Pokemon so I can forget about it. So yeah, this guy can tutor us a pretty interesting move. I'm gonna give it to Margarine, because this is a fascinating move. It's a Psychic-type attack that does 100 damage, and it can heal Margarine based on the damage she inflicts on the opponent, but it can only be used when the opponent is asleep. Since she has Sleep Powder, and it's so accurate because of Compound Eyes, I think I'm going to teach this to her and get rid of Tackle. Can't eat anymore. So yeah, with that we got a very strong attack. This is pretty much the strongest move that I think Butterfree can learn in this game. So that's definitely interesting. While I'm here, I might as well buy a few potions. Because we're not going to be able to buy regular potions in some of the later areas. Also, don't worry about Mimian, we're going to get him trained up very soon. Don't need Pokeballs right now. Actually, I could use a few more since we're coming up to some new areas where we can find some more Pokemon. Buy 3 more. And then let's sell that item we got on the boat. That's good. Okay, now that we're done with that, I want to head back up to Pewter City. Let's take this path because the road through Viridian Forest, it's just not worth going through. Even to gain a few levels on Mimian, because there are better ways to gain experience. Because if we head up to Pewter, there's now something we can do now that we have Cut. Now we can enter this room. The secrets of space, the mysteries of Earth. There's so many things about which we know so little, but that should spur us to study harder, not toss in the towel. The only thing you should toss? How about Seismic Toss? Should I teach that to a Pokemon? Let's see who I can give that to. Seismic Toss is kind of interesting. I don't think I want to teach that to anyone. We have 2 fossils of rare prehistoric Pokemon on exhibit. Yeah, I saw them. Shh, listen, I need to share a secret with someone. I think this chunk of amber contains Pokemon DNA. It'd be a shattering scientific breakthrough if Pokemon could be resurrected from it. But my colleagues just ignore what I have to say. But I have a favor to ask. I want you to get this examined at a Pokemon lab somewhere. And we get the old amber. This will be an important item for later. We're not going to be able to do anything with it now, but... honestly, we're not going to be able to do anything with it for a long time. But try to keep it in mind, because it will be helpful. It will. Alright, time to make our way back through Diglett's cave. Do I have any repels? No, I do not. Fiddlesticks. We should be fine, though. Seriously? Another Dugtrio. You know, I just realized, I think Marjorie's ability has a chance of making Pokemon easier to encounter. I'm not sure if it was introduced this generation, but who knows. Anyway, let's put this new move to use now that we put this Dugtrio to sleep. We can eat its dreams and gain sustenance from it. So yeah, that's a pretty cool move. Definitely one of Butterfree's best, thanks to Sleep Powder. I got so much experience from that Dugtrio. What am I supposed to do now you're underground? At least Marjorie's getting some good experience. I mean, she's not gonna see much in the next gym, but it's still nice. I don't know what else there is to say right now. Gaming for quite a while, there's not a whole lot I can think to talk about. I'm probably gonna call it quits very soon, once I get done the next route, I think. Then I have to prepare for the next gym, but honestly I think I'm gonna be pretty good. As Pine is going to be able to handle that gym all by herself, and I don't think she needs any more levels to do it. So I'll be stuck mainly training Mimian. And now that we're finally out of Diglett's tunnel, we can put Margarine out of the front. I've been working overtime lately, and I'm very appreciative of that. I love the music on this route, it's really awesome. There's another Pokemon we can encounter in this area, so I'll try to go for it. While I'm battling all the trainers here, because there's quite a few. There's some interesting Pokemon we can see. Neckens. If Mimian was a few levels higher, I'd probably have him fight this Ekans. But this thing will hurt. So let's switch to Pine. So yeah, basically what I'm gonna do in this area is try to get some more experience for Mimian, where I need to finish up my training for the gym. This will help bridge the gap for him a bit so that he's in a better position to help us out as a teammate. Because I really love Mr. Mime and I want to see him getting some use in. Hello. Win, lose, or draw. These NPCs are kind of interesting. In Red and Blue, these guys were called Gamblers, but they were changed to Gamer in Fire Red and LeafGreen due to censorship. Because they don't want to associate their game for children with gambling. Despite the fact that they leave the game corner completely untouched. Also, Poliwag is a pretty interesting water type. Use support moves like Hypnosis. It evolves into a pretty strong Pokemon later down the line. I want to catch these guys for later, because there's another Pokemon we can get through trade. We have a Poliwag. Mimian's getting his first level. That's switch you back in. All this delicious EXP. Nice. Just one battle, we got 2 levels on Mimian. So yeah, another thing about traded Pokemon is that the name they've been given, you're incapable of changing it. It's stuck with that name forever, so if you want a Mr. Mime that has a different name than Mimian, you're gonna have to wait until post-game so you can breed it. Watch out for live wires. Bernie. Magnemite. This is one of my favorite Pokemon. I can't catch it yet, and that makes me upset. Ah. Well, we'll have an opportunity to get Magnemite later. Because I'm considering adding Magnemite to the team. Because it'd be very helpful. It's got a lot of resistances. It's a very strong electric type. With some very good defenses. I think it'll be a fantastic addition, but We can't get Magnemite until much later in the game, I'm afraid. Got another level from Mimian. Just learn Meditate. That boosts attack, which is kind of weird on Mr. Mime since it's mainly a special attacker. Anyway, this guy just sent out Magneton, which is the evolution of Magnemite. Although this one is like really under-leveled. Yeah, it's kind of cool how it's basically pre-Magnemite fused together. It's a cool Pokemon. I really dig it. Aha! You've been burned! Go ahead and Sonic Boom, I don't care. Oh, we're getting so many level ups. It's so good. I raised my Pokemon carefully. They should be ready by now. Alright, let's see what you got, kid. Let's see if it's a good matchup for... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let Mimian handle this Nidoran. Let's take you out. Nice. Despite being 5 levels below it, he still does very good damage. And I am instantly regretting not using Substitute, because Substitute renders your Pokemon immune from status ailments, which can be very helpful. But don't worry, Mimian, you did good. Ooh, Nidorino. This is considerably stronger. I think I'm gonna risk it. This is kind of risky, but... No. Focus energy. Okay, we should outspeed it, so let's just take it out. Nicely done, Mimian! You handled your first battle very well. You got 2 level ups from that! So good. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you receive in a trade, earn much more experience than Pokemon you catch yourself. So that's also an incentive to raising those Pokemon. Of course, traded Pokemon will disobey you if they get too high leveled. You need to collect more badges in order to get them to listen to you. Like, you can't just trade yourself a level 100 Mewtwo at the very beginning of the game and expect to sweep everything. You can't do that. They'll disobey you. Huh, this guy's name's Dylan, and he's got a Sandshrew, which kind of looks like an armadillo. Heh, 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 heh. Just take it out, Mimian. Oh, you're getting experience so fast, buddy! Zubat. Good work. And that's another level up. Mimian's really catching up with the others. it helps that he does get the experience bonus. So there is that. Competition! I can't get enough! Really looking forward to drawing the new changes to my team. Drawing the evolved forms of Bella and Pine, drawing Mimian. I'm really excited for that. As you can see in the top left corner of the stream, I do have my Pokemon's artwork. I'm just cycling through. I figured it'd be a nice creative touch to add a bit more flavor to the stream, as well as show my interpretations of my team to my viewers. I think that's very nice. Some powder again. Again, if I just use Substitute, I'd be fine. I might have to use that for longer battles or something. These things wouldn't do enough damage to break the Substitutes. I had a chance. Sorry, you couldn't beat me, Jasper, because I'm stronger than you. X defense, pretty good. Pokemon's defense in battle. Careful, I'm laying down some cables. Braxton. Yeah, I might handle these guys. Let's go with Kung Pao. Dynamite the Steel type. Easily handle these things. That was electric! Spread the word to save energy. Okay. Hello. I have never won before. That's sad. Darien, got a Growlithe. Neat. Let's see how Mimian will do. Just have dark attacks, but honestly, I'm not too worried about that. Dark is a special type in this game. We block Roar with Soundproof. Keep that in mind for later. Yeah, since Dark is a special attack in this gen, and has very special defense, he could easily take a bite from this thing. Ooh, just look at those experiences just shoot up. I think this one out too, Mimian. Already I'm starting to really like this Mr. Mime. He's doing pretty good damage, despite being this low level. So I think it was a good idea adding him to the team. I saw this coming. I was unlucky, as always. Man, that guy is just a regular Danny Downer, or whatever you call it. We got a Great Ball there. Hey, kid. Ah! Spearow. So I have a chance of getting another Spearow to replace the one I traded, but I don't really need to since we can catch Spearow's evolution later in the game. And again, I'll want to catch as many Pokemon as I can. because you get some pretty good rewards for catching Pokémon. I'm the best in my class. I train every morning. Good for you, kid. Good for you. Yasu. Oh, I remember this kid. He has 2 Rattatas and Eradicate. This could be trouble. Oh, good work, Mimian. You're so good. Ooh, Light Screen. This is a very helpful move. Let's get rid of Meditate. So Light Screen puts up a temporary force field that lasts for about 5 turns and boosts your Pokemon's special defense. Ooh, and right now we're learning Reflect. That does the same as Light Screen, but by boosting your defense. And like, it stays in effect even if you switch out, so they're very good support moves. In fact, with this Rattata coming out, I think I want to set up a Reflect in order to boost our resistance to Rattata's physical attacks. So that'll be helpful. Again, this is why I like Mr. Mime. It gets a lot of good support moves, and it can be very helpful to your team. It's a great Pokemon. And of course, it's got Eradicate. With the Reflect up, though, we should be fine. Oh, come on. There we go. Takes it out. Good work, Mimian. You're really proving yourself. Oh, so good. I won't even need to train as much between streams. Because I got another day off on Friday, and I'm considering doing a stream on that day. As well as Easter Sunday. So yeah, Easter's coming up. Alright, let's take on this guy, and then we'll see if we can wrap things up. I have never lost. There's a first time for everything, man. And yours has come. Dirk. Dirk is such a funny name. Anyone who has that, I just find it funny. Okay. Let's take out this Voltorb. Very fast electric type, but it shouldn't have any seriously strong moves. Just another thing for Mimian to take out. And gain that succulent experience. Let's let you stay just to get the experience. Then we switch. Good work, you two. My first loss! You were just lucky, that's all. Don't you think it's hard to think of good names for Pokemon? Especially if it caught a whole bunch? Lavender Town, there's a man who rates Pokemon nicknames. He can even help you rename your Pokemon, too. At Mimian, if you're aiming to reach Lavender Town, take Rock Tunnel. You get to Rock Tunnel from Cerulean City. Yep. We're gonna need to keep that in mind for later. I'm looking for the Pokemon Nidorino. Want to trade one for my Nidorino. Alright, get. So, like, you got these watchtowers in a few locations in the game. And you can appear for these binoculars to see a few things. There's a big Pokemon asleep on the road. Interesting. To get to Lavender Town from Cerulean City, Rock Tunnel appears to be a good route to take. Good is objective here. If your Pokédex is complete data on 30 species, I'm supposed to give you a reward. Item Finder. That's definitely an item we want. Unfortunately, we only have 26 kinds of Pokémon. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to catch that many Pokemon for a while. There is one more Pokemon we can catch in this area, but that's not enough to meet that milestone. Alright, let's park Margarine up front so we can do this capture. It's somewhere on this route. We just need to find it. And here it is! Drowsy! Much like Abra and Mr. Mime, it's a Psychic type. Although it differs in that its stats are a bit more balanced than the others. It focuses mainly on special defense and has pretty alright attack and defenses. But like, compared to Mr. Mime, and especially Alakazam, Drowsy is not that much of a powerhouse. Don't get me wrong, it's still good. I've used these things plenty of times. They're good Pokemon. But they are just rather underwhelming when compared to some of the other Psychic types you got in this game. Ah, jeez. Alright, the space should be weak enough to catch. Let's go for it. Drowsy, the Hypnosis Pokemon, puts enemies to sleep and eats their dreams, occasionally gets sick from eating only bad dreams. Ew. Alright, now that we caught ourselves a Drowsy, I think that is going to do it for today. So next time, on Pokemon LeafGreen, which hopefully will be this Friday, we'll be taking on the Vermilion City Gym, and then we'll be heading off to Parts Unknown. Have a good day, and take care.